Vivian delivers this deep six. Almost.
Good evening, everybody. How you guys all doing? Jay Perndog El Calupa from Mexico. Welcome back.
So happy to be back.
Arriba!
Yeah, brother.
This is it, guys. Tonight we saw the Go Home show. We are now going into Money in the Bank in just 6 days away.
Yeah.
Yes.
See,
One of my favorite pay-per-views of the year after WrestleMania and SummerSlam and Rumble. Money in the Bank is basically the new Big Four.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
first, we got a couple things to talk about. We just got done watching Monday Night Raw, the Go Home show, and a pretty good show. I'm not going to lie. Not bad. Not the greatest, but pretty good.
Yeah, I also think it was pretty good. It for what it is and for the environment we're in, I think again for the go home show for Money in the Bank, I thought it was pretty decent.
Pern Dog, how
I
did you like Raw tonight?
I have to say I was digging the promos. The promos were huge, and they really gave everybody a chance to kind of put forth their storyline before the big show. I like the aggression. I liked a little bit of darkness. Aleister Black brought that, and I was excited about the whole thing. Big tag team match too.
Yeah, that was a good match.
Yeah, we had a pretty good matches in there. Kalupa,
yeah,
how did you like
even
Raw tonight?
even the non-Money in the Bank matches, like the tag team match, just kind of building on some things and other stuff to the side that they could be hinting to. They did a good job with that. Couple of little gripes here and there, but I'm sure we'll touch on those as we go along tonight.
Awesome. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump right into the Monday Night Raw review show. For those who are watching or about to watch or listening, we'll spend a little time and we'll get to the Money in the Bank prediction part of the show as quick as we can. So I'm gonna jump right into it. The VIP lounge featured Nia Jax, Asuka, and Shayna, which started off Monday Night Raw. We saw Shayna and Asuka face to face with Nia Jax standing up, and she gets kicked through a table out of the ring. Didn't make Nia Jax look all that good here, but what did you guys think of this segment?
I thought it was all right. I mean, I'm not really into this story, so it really didn't do any justice for me. I like that they attacked Nia, kind of bringing her down a peg, but yeah.
I like Nia when she's used right, but tonight she didn't look all that great. She didn't look threatening to me.
No, she was definitely not as menacing. But I do think they need to keep her off the mic. I think her promo skills are terrible. I don't like the way she speaks. I don't like the way she delivers her promos. It's just not for me. What do you guys think?
Not feeling.
I think I can't really hear Coop, so I'm gonna have a hard time with this. But I think that that she almost sounds too like girlish. Like they have her like screeching and doing all sorts of things like that. She should stick with just being a monster. I think they could do a lot with Shayna and her because Shayna could break it down with the submissions. She could definitely like take her in a shoot. So I think that if they focus on maybe Shayna beating her up a little bit, but they'll probably go for this 3-on-1 thing or 5-on-1, whatever it is. So it'll I think they're gonna end up going that route.
Yeah, they very well could. Kalupa, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, especially with how this year's Money in the Bank is, you're starting on the ground floor and it's 10 floors up that you're just going to be brawling through. So there are so many angles they could take this and so many situations they could put this in. Nia could just be left and just ganged up on the ground floor. Everybody makes it to the top, and then she's that wild card that just comes out of nowhere that you forgot was there and just kills everybody. So I mean, there's
Yeah, and don't forget that both Money in the Bank matches will be going on at the same time,
Yes.
so there could be some mixed match stuff going on, if you
I
will.
think yeah.
So we're definitely going to get into that. And Jay, I'm glad you brought that up because I have a question about that later on. But as the segment progressed, we see Shayna and Asuka. They were jarring. Nia Jax was knocked out. That basically ended that segment. So now, as you guys know, there was still one Money in the Bank match to be filled. So I'm watching this gauntlet match, and I'm a little confused about a couple of things. Bobby Lashley had such a good showing in the first three competitors of this gauntlet match, and then all that for nothing.
Yeah.
He looked great, delivered great spears. Granted, Titus O'Neil, Tozawa, Shelton Benjamin sold very well for him. And then all of a sudden, he blatantly gets disqualified. Like,
Yeah.
what a waste!
Yeah, it was a little weird. He was tearing through that roster. I don't know where this is going. I can't even think of a possible scenario of where they can be going. And usually I can come up with something. I'm at a loss here.
I mean, I guess they didn't have Lashley plan to, be the winner of the Money in the Bank match, which we'll get into later. But they're probably going to go a different angle with him, if at all. But then we see him get disqualified in his match against Carrillo. The referee was shoved, and he just calls it. Then we see Carrillo. He eliminates Garza. He eliminates Austin Theory. Then all of a sudden, AJ Styles comes back from the dead.
I love it. Look, right here. There they are. AJ Styles.
Phenomenal.
He is alive. And he gets the win against Carrillo. He was the last entrance. What are your thoughts on this gauntlet match before we move on?
I thought the match itself was done well. I like that he was tearing through the roster. Made him look really strong. I don't get why they had him disqualify himself, but I love.
He wasn't going to take a pinfall to get him out of the match.
No, and it definitely saved them in that respect. And I guess they didn't want to go put him against AJ, because I love that AJ came out, and I love that he's in this Money in the Bank match. I'm a big AJ fan, so to me, I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally just saw AJ a month ago with his hands sticking out of the dirt, buried 6 feet under, and he's back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Once you see that arm come out of the ground, there's no keeping it down there.
Nah.
He's out. I mean, we saw that with Jason. We saw that, with Freddie. Now we see it with AJ. He's up there with the greats.
He is. I have to say, I liked it. I'm a little weirded out by this whole guys not wanting to take the 3. I think it's like a cop-out thing, maybe like a backstage where, Lashley doesn't want to lay down for anybody. It's fine. I think that it would have been a little weird for him to take the fall to Garza. But Humberto came in, he started flying around, and they had some good lightweight matches after that. I was happy to see Shelton, get a little spot there. He had a decent run with him, but then he got speared. AJ coming through, I think that's my favorite now for that match. He's like the likely champion. And he had some great matches with Brock, the big men. He puts together spectacular matches with the big men. So I'm definitely feeling AJ right now. Man.
Some of AJ's best matches were with John Cena, believe it or not.
John Cena too. Yep.
Oh yeah, that Royal Rumble match.
That well.
Oh my God, that was 5 stars written all over it.
Yeah, I mean AJ can have 5 stars with anybody though. In fairness, there's not a single person he cannot have a 5-star with.
I was at that SummerSlam match in Barclays Center. I think it was and I could be wrong because I think it was 2016 or 17. 15, I think, was Cena, Seth Rollins, so it would have been at least 16. with AJ and Cena for that U.S. title match, and let me tell you, those two had the building hopping that night. AJ had a great match. Cena had some cool spots too. Yeah, AJ's had some really notable matches in WWE.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to see post his WWE contract if he went and did a short stint in AEW, because that Kenny Omega AJ Styles program would be fire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They could. It could also be done on a New Japan platform, especially if New Japan and AEW do a little working agreement.
No, you got to bring that. You got to bring that to US. You can't keep that in New Japan.
Moving on, we had MVP's proteges, Brendan Vick and Shane Thorne. They come off as green to me, like you wouldn't believe, but at least the way they're presented. But they had a great match against Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. Brendan Vink with the pinfall. Big upset. Ricochet took that boot to the face. What'd you guys think of this match? I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. I mean, I'm not feeling that tag team of Vink and Shane Thorne. They are very green. I like that they're putting them with MVP.
Well, they don't work green. I feel like their presentation is green.
I just get a whole green from them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
go ahead, Kalu.
I was gonna say they were NXT guys beforehand. I mean, they were TM61 back in the day. So
Not Vink.
I mean, okay, he was worked in.
Shane Thorne was a TM61.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean because they had there was a group that they had before WWE. I read up on those guys, so they had been wrestling together since like 2000 or 2011.
Really?
So yeah, so it's oh shoot, I forgot. Like the TM is like the Mighty, and then there's part of it like Take a Knee or something. I can't remember the thing, but yeah, there's like a group of them that had been together since like 2011, but doing this main roster, it's like there's some good tag teams up there. I know we'll touch on the next match or the next tag team match here in a little bit, but it's like they kind of wanted to cut their teeth against another up and coming tag team just to see how they would do on the main roster. So I think it was a good spot for them to get not only the win, but just kind of test the waters with them on the main roster.
And you know what? They're kind of the recipients of right place, right time, since a lot of the WWE roster is not there right now.
Yep.
So a lot of these guys are getting a lot of opportunity, which is good because Raw looks a little bit more fresh than SmackDown does. That's for sure.
Yes. Oh, and just for TM61 for you, Kalupa, the Mighty Don't Kneel. That's the Australian
Don't
stable.
Kneel. That's what it is. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so Vink was a part of that. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Perndog, what did you think of this match?
I was looking up Venk. I figured he was like a rugby player or something, but it showed that he started wrestling in 2008. You know, big guy, could move. I was a little disappointed with the big cast, big boot finish. You know, I expected some type of finisher out of him.
I was okay with it.
I think they're gonna have to it was a solid boot. You know, I'm not gonna take it away from him. But I think that they're gonna have to rename these guys. You know, you have to call them like the Flaming Kangaroos or the Eternal Burning Fire or something like that. You know, you're gonna have to give them something. You know, matching tights because now you had a jobber beat these super exciting newer guys. Ricochet, he had a Rock on him, the Future and stuff. So you got them going down to guys that look like jobbers. You can't do the 1, 2, 3 kid all over again. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have to work on them a little bit. But you know what? They bumped well. It was a smooth match, man.
I think they're gonna do more with them. It's gonna be kind of like a progression type of thing. And with Brendan Vink getting that win, I think they're going to be on a Raw roster for a little bit, guys.
What do you think about?
Pretty good.
What do you think about calling them the Down Under Experience? How's that?
Oh,
Look at that.
I actually kind of
like
under.
Oh, Thunder from Under. I like it.
I don't know. That sounds like something you have to watch after 11 when it all goes off the air.
I'm in with that all the way.
I think the Flaming Kangaroos was kind of good.
Yeah, that's not bad. The Wacky Wallabies. I mean, we can go
I
all
mean, hey,
day.
listen, WWE came out with a pay-per-view
Yo!
named Great Balls of Fire, so there's no doubt in my mind they could go Flaming Kangaroos.
Yeah,
Wouldn't put it
really.
past them.
Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast unto itself. That god awful paper.
the mighty marsupials.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like it.
That won't have the freaking
Yeah, man.
PC
All
police
day,
knocking the WWE's door.
The rugged ruggers. You got it, baby. Yeah, I'm feeling it. As long as they got a solid finish, you got to put them over though a little bit. You know, I get it. And they'll pick it up. They'll pick it up. They might make an appearance. I have a feeling with this shortened roster, you're going to be able to fill in some guys. You know, in the pay-per-views, you're going to have guys some looks, maybe even like a backstage altercation or something. You know, guys are going to get some face time.
Yeah, agreed.
So, Kalupa, our very next talking point was Viking Raiders versus Street Profits. I'll let you lead off with this one. Viking
Yes.
Raiders get the pinfall win with hitting their finisher, the Viking Experience. I'm pretty sure this is setting up a tag team title match with the Street Profits very soon, unless they maybe announce it this week that there'll be a title match Sunday. Who knows? Kalupa,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
WWE is notorious for throwing in last minute shows, especially something that's on a pre-show.
I think that's
And-
happening.
And this is something that, because I hate using this as the parallel, but it's kind of the exact same program. Like whenever the Usos and New Day first started, they move almost the same, but the energy is a little bit different with them. So it's still exciting to watch because you've got a guy looking at the Viking Raiders side, two guys that are 600 pounds together, but they can move like they're cruiserweights. Dawkins was absolutely plowing through Eric and Ivar like it was nobody's business. Just
He's a
shoving
big
them into
dude.
the barrier. Yeah, he crashed him into the barrier with next to no effort. And then Montez is out there flying around too. That is a great tandem. And then those four guys together can work. Honestly, if they had a live crowd, they would go absolutely bonkers for a pay-per-view match with that. And then I as much as I'd hate to see the Street Profits drop, I'd see him giving them back to the Viking Raiders.
I can see it happen. I feel like it may be a little soon for Street Profits to drop the title. I don't
Yeah.
know. Jay, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it
Sorry
may be a
about
little
that.
soon for them.
I'm back, people. Woo! Better than that ever. I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna take it all, baby. Woo! I gotta buy some better equipment, man. I'm jerry rigging this thing. You know, I found it in like a basement in Mastic or something. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I think it'll be too soon for the Street Profits to drop. They definitely need to hold on to those titles longer.
I am back, baby.
I like they're very entertaining. They keep you in on the match. I don't want to see the Viking Raiders go over on this.
Exactly.
I mean, Viking Raiders, when the Viking Raiders had the belts, I thought it was a good move. They looked good, but their tag team title reign was cut too short.
Yeah.
So, now we're here, 4 months later, Street Profits and Viking Raiders, potentially a tag title match this Sunday. Yeah, we don't know that yet for sure.
It doesn't feel like 4 months though.
It's been about that. You know what? I'm thinking it's like maybe like December, January-ish. So it might be a little bit more. But yeah, so we're in a position where I feel like the tag team title run with Street Profits still has some legs under it.
The good thing is with the Viking Raiders, those two promos that they did on back-to-back weeks, I think WWE realized and Paul Heyman realized that was absolute garbage and just completely stupid. So they kind of
I heard about that.
They deviated from that plan and kind of realized we need to cut that program off right now.
Wait, which program was that?
I heard it looks pretty silly with chicken legs.
Yeah, like when they
So-
were when they're doing basically that ride along and they're just eating chicken legs and
Oh
that,
yeah.
that
That
weird
was
promo a week or two
terrible.
ago. Oh, exactly.
That was so bad, so bad. It made me look at the Viking Raiders in a different way. Like they almost instantaneously to me became almost a comedy tag team. Like they could be
Yep.
used as a comedy tag team. It took
That-
away all that power that they had.
They were going to take the spot that they were going to throw at the Revival,
Yeah,
and then they realized, oh yeah,
can't do that.
That's dumb.
Yeah. Perndall, what did you think of the tag title match between Viking Raiders and Street Profits tonight?
I'll tell you, man, they went all out. The bumps were huge. Montez Ford he's absolutely nuts, man. I mean, even like right from the get go, he did some sunset flip, kind of full front flip. I thought he blew his knees out. You know, he gets up, he tags him in. You know, Dawkins did this T-bone throw, just like dead. You know, no like momentum and nothing. You know, showing off his strength. And then they did this backdrop flip to like a cover that I thought was amazing. I haven't seen that before. I honestly thought it was a title match the whole time, and
I thought it was going to be a title match this
Yeah.
Monday too.
because like they were just going all out, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. You know, they're putting it all out there, almost like a pay-per-view quality match. Definitely a pay-per-view quality match. And then when it was all done, they didn't have the belts, and I'm looking for the belts. I'm like, all right, I guess it's a non-title. But it also made me like question a little bit. What do these belts worth to these guys these days? You know, is it a status thing? Is it when you're the champ? You know, do you have to wrestle a perfect match? I noticed that they were kind of going so hard, like even like Montez Ford, he did a drop kick off the top rope, and he like landed on top of one of the Vikings, the smaller one. I don't know. I'm gonna call him Baldy, Viking Baldy. And
That one's Eric.
What is his name?
Eric.
Eric is the skinny one. Ivar's the
Eric.
big one.
Yeah, Ivan. Yeah, Eric. He lands on top of Eric, and it was like, whoa, like because he's going all out. I'm wondering if the belts are based on talent. If there's a transition where they're not giving these guys this like status symbol that, you know, you got to go out there and do that championship match. This was like, I'm pulling out all the stops, we're busting out new stuff. And I thought it was a belt match, you know, but even if it wasn't, it was still, it was crazy. And it was like a sign into the future, man. I mean, you know, I'm hoping these guys aren't getting hurt doing all this stuff, but it was some ridiculous spots.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's something a little bit more than the breathing, I would say. I'm sorry, the a little bit. I was just reading another message. Sorry about that. But it's something a little bit more than the titles. I would say. Raw has a lot of open opportunity now that some guys are deciding to take a break and not be there in the middle of COVID-19, which has opened the opportunity for a lot of guys. And these guys that are on Raw, especially on the Raw side, are stepping up in a way where they're working for a spot, a permanent spot.
Right.
So what's going to happen is when some of these guys come back on Raw, some of these NXT guys, they may go right back down to NXT. Not that it's a bad thing, but they may stay on NXT and not be on the Raw roster when everything shapes up. So I think these guys are just working really hard in the ring, and especially you know, your Brendan Vincent, your Shane Thorns, and what have you, to put on decent matches.
Yeah. One point I was that I forgot to say when you were talking about the gauntlet match, I brought this up last week and they did it again. Zelina Vega's stable is looking awful right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I agree.
Big difference from last week.
They took consecutive losses in the gauntlet match tonight.
Yeah, against a less than mid card talent, nonetheless.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, Austin Theory, you know, once again, you know, I said it last week also. He's going for these power moves. He's doing like bear hugs. I don't know if he's going for like the mini John Cena thing, you know. He looks like an action figure, you know. I mean, he looks great, but I have to say that I think he's wrestling a heavyweight match. When you're in the ring with these guys, you know, Carrillo, and you're going at it with these guys, you really gotta match him with the high flying. So I don't know how long he's gonna last. He might be one of those guys. You know, I wish the best for everyone, but you know, there's some guys who may not fit in, and I think you're right. This might be like a tryout time period.
Yeah, but I think Austin Theory is going to maintain his middle, his mid, the like the middle of the roster. You know, he's going to go for the U.S. title. He's going to go for the IC title. He's not going to go any higher than that. I don't see him carrying the heavyweight title, either the Universal title.
Well,
He's just going to stay a mid carder. Right.
Only 22. I mean, they can roll with him for 10 years without giving him the title, and that very well could happen.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I definitely see him as a contender for those mid card titles, though. You know, I don't see him making it to the top. I mean, he's not another AJ, you know, somebody that's smaller but super athletic.
Well, what about this? Because Randy Orton was 24 when he won the world title, and he came in, about 2 or 3 years before that. The guy wasn't that big at the time. He was trying to be sculpted and molded by Triple H and everyone
And he had
else.
a stupid haircut.
That too. Yeah. But I mean, we see what happened with him. He had the exact same kind of look, attitude, build. I mean, but we have a mirror there?
The difference is, you know, Orton came in with the legacy of his name, you know, Cowboy Bob Orton. That's why he was pushed to where he was, you know, because he had that lineage behind him. Austin Theory has zero lineage.
True.
Moving on, this Wednesday, we get an NXT title match, Charlotte versus Io Shirai, which is a match that I'm excited to look forward to. I think we could all agree that Charlotte retains here. But that's what we're getting on Wednesday night. And Charlotte was in the ring tonight, as we saw, cutting a promo. And then out comes Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
And she interrupts Charlotte, challenges Charlotte to a match. And I'm thinking to myself, oh no, this cannot be happening. This is too soon. Great match, but too soon if you're trying to build Liv Morgan, in my opinion. What did you guys think? What are your opinions of this match?
Well, I think they paired her with Charlotte this early because Charlotte can carry her through the match and make her look good, in which she did. You know, I think this was one of the better Liv Morgan matches. There were a few botches in there, or what seemed to be botches, but it raised Liv Morgan to almost to the level of Charlotte, or being able to compete with Charlotte. So, you know, I didn't think it was that bad.
I'm just not too sure taking a loss so soon. I mean, this has only been about 4 to 5 weeks now, basically since we started the podcast. That Liv Morgan's been on a hot streak, and I just think it's a little soon for her to take the loss. Perm, what do you think?
You know, she to me, she seems like a diva. She's kind of climbing out of that diva hole. Every time I see her, I think of Harley Quinn. Kind of has that like freaky kind of could be someone's like psycho ex-girlfriend.
Well, she's trying to find herself.
Well, I mean,
because that's kind of what she was.
I mean, technically, she's Enzo Amore's ex-girlfriend. If you want to go that route,
she is. Which you know, I know Jay wasn't a fan of him. I was.
In the beginning, I was, and then once he got stupid, that's when I bailed out.
It was an okay match, but the thing for me is, you have to pull out stuff. If somebody could physically dominate you, like obviously Charlotte could just ragdoll her and literally cover her for the 1, 2, 3, and she would have no problem. She needs to pull out some, you know, trickery, some like slyness to kind of, you know, even out the playing field. And I was kind of waiting for that. I was waiting for some real like dastardly stuff. Didn't really come. So I mean, she's like developing a character. Let's see what she's got in the future. You know, she could cut a promo, but she definitely has to work on it for sure.
Yeah, but again, I think that's why they paired her with Charlotte Flair, because again, Charlotte Flair can carry her. Because it was yes, she lost tonight. She took the pin, or she tapped out, but she also beat Ruby Riott twice, right? So that elevated her. So by losing to Charlotte Flair, who happens to also be the champion, I don't think it hurts her that much. She's lost to a top tier talent. It's not like she lost to a jobber.
Not only that, it wasn't a squash match either. It actually
Right.
No, it was a good match.
Yeah. And yeah, what Jay was saying, it looked like there were a couple botches because especially that code breaker from the top rope, I actually thought she busted her nose. So I mean, there were a couple close calls there that
was almost a botched spot. Almost.
Yeah. But Charlotte knows how to recover, and Charlotte knows how to change in the middle of the move. She's that good.
Yeah, because it looked like Charlotte just put her legs down so that she wouldn't completely fall on it because of the way the positioning was.
What did you guys think of Liv Morgan's talking tonight?
It was okay. Again, she needs work, but that's why they're pairing her with these people to help get her more runs, more practice.
Yeah.
I think we saw a little bit more of an improved promo in comparison to the last few times that she was out there.
Yeah, for sure.
And it seemed a little teeny bopper there for a little bit and talking about Charlotte being born with the silver spoon up her or in her mouth.
Yeah.
That little thing. But I mean, she does need a little work on the mic. She's trying to act a little too bubbly but cynical at the same time. So it's not the right mix for her right now.
She needs to get reps with Alexa if that's the way she's going to play it. If she wants to be a talker like that, they need to get her either in a team or a stable with Alexa to where Alexa can walk her through the promo part of it.
You know what it is? A lot of times I feel like these wrestlers do a lot better when they're talking from their heart and when they can relate to their character and not be scripted. I mean, Charlotte, she was doing horrible the first couple of years in her promos. It was bad. And she was heavily scripted and probably still is, but she's handling it a lot better.
Heel Charlotte is 10 times better on the mic than face Charlotte.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Agreed.
Heel Charlotte's the best Charlotte, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree.
They just got to keep her like that. I have no problem if they kept her heel forever. If she's cutting promos and having great matches, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then in 15 years she'll start losing her mind just like her dad did, and then she'll have those great, face like schizophrenic promos that Ric Flair had circa like '98. WCW where he's taking his pants off and stuff.
I was going to say, is Charlotte going to rip her shirt off in the middle of the promo?
Right, man. I think she's going to do it.
I'm surprised she hasn't done the spots with falling face first after getting knocked out like Ric Flair always did, falling forward face first.
Yeah, I love that. That was
Charlotte
awesome.
hasn't done that yet.
Yeah. The delayed face plant. I love those.
Yeah.
Main events: Drew McIntyre versus Buddy Murphy. As we know, this is the last match for Drew McIntyre before Money in the Bank this Sunday. And Drew McIntyre, Buddy Murphy had a pretty decent outing, I must say. About 10 minutes or so. What did you guys think of this match?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Buddy was able to get some offense in, but we knew Drew was going over.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That Glasgow kiss, though, I want to do that to somebody.
Yo, how about
fantastic.
the Claymore tonight?
Oh, yeah, the Claymore was good, too. What do you think about
was dying laughing when Buddy Murphy started counting down his
that
own
was
finish.
hysterical.
That was great. Perndall, what did you think of tonight? With the main event.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought Buddy, he was definitely overmatched by Drew. Buddy has a lot of skill. I'll never take anything away from him.
Oh, absolutely.
He's skillful. He has a little bit to work though. I think AJ, he's not at that level where he's believable with the big guys yet. I think that you have to almost open up spots for him to kind of shine a little bit. But I did like his promo beforehand. It was a little weird with him staring off into space at the end. He could have maybe said a couple more things at the end there. But I get what he's going with. He's being brainwashed by Seth, and then eventually he might stab him in the back like Judas or something like that. You know, like they're going down a good road.
They
So,
planted that
They
seed
hinted,
tonight.
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going to be big in the future, man, and he's got a ton of skill, super athletic guy for sure.
Yeah. So if the payoff isn't Seth winning the WWE title, they could do a Buddy and Seth angle, like getting retribution against Master for brainwashing him, if you will.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then also with Drew, this is the champion we need right now, and it is awesome. Because that promo that he cut beforehand, where
I'm
he's
happy.
like, yes,
Yeah.
because it's like, so Seth has a disciple he's willing to sacrifice to get his way, and there's a disciple who's willing to sacrifice himself so Seth can get his way. Well, who am I not to fulfill that for you? He's such an awesome champion, and his promos, like, and especially last week during the contract signing, Drew is playing this perfectly right now, and I don't had a single gripe with him right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's money right now. He definitely needs a long run. I don't foresee him dropping the strap this weekend. We can get into that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's, like you said, he's what we need right now. He's what's keeping me going through this 3 hours of Raw, be honest with you.
Yeah, and especially if someone like Brock had the title again and it's not on TV, Raw would tank even worse.
Oh, yeah.
Right now.
Listen, I'm cool with Drew McIntyre having a week off here and there.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh,
he
yeah, for
can't
sure.
he can't be as absent as Brock Lesnar though.
No, and
It's
I don't
just
think he will
ridiculous.
be. I don't think he will be at all.
No,
I don't think
I don't think
anybody
he
will
will.
be as absent as Brock Lesnar is or was.
I mean, besides Drew really hasn't reached that level. You know,
Right.
it came a point in time where The Rock, who was still in his prime, very well in his prime, decided to, work part-time for whatever reason. And, we started seeing Cena do it a little bit. So Drew's not at that time, nowhere near it. So we're going to see him basically every week. But the thing that always concerns me is overexposure.
Yeah, I mean, even if he can phone it in 1 or 2 weeks, just cut something on the screen or whatever. But he definitely will not be that absent champion. You can tell he cares, right? And that's the same thing with AJ. When AJ was on the run for the 1 year where he had the title, he was defending it left and right. He was out in front with the title. I think most people, that's the type of champion they want to be. They don't want to be that absent champion that Brock was.
I mean, this isn't the UFC. We don't need to see the title once every 6 months. I want to see that title on TV almost every week,
Right.
Yeah.
with some storyline revolving around it.
I think that's kind of sad that became the new norm with Brock and all these little part timers.
It was very
especially with
frustrating.
with the Universal Championship, it was normal not to see it on TV and have everybody else carry the load. And 1 month before SummerSlam, come back. 1 month before Survivor Series, so you see them once every 3 months.
There were times that
short
I
program.
forgot what that Universal title looked like.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but the more entertaining part was, The Miz bringing up that IC title. That IC title was the title for the longest time because of the absence of Brock. And I think that was great for that title.
absolutely.
You give it to the right person, they can work with what they got. And I think at that time, it was definitely The Miz was the right person to bring up that IC title in place of that Universal title.
Which, sadly, sidebar, that IC title right now is more buried than AJ Styles.
Yeah. And it looks like trash.
Yeah,
Yep.
but
I have
that's
to agree. Everything on the SmackDown sides has not been good at all.
that's a podcast for another day.
Absolutely.
I just want to add that Drew, adding in that like the slaughtering. I love
Yes.
the whole like old school warrior feel that he's got. He's going down the right path. It totally fits his character.
And that T-shirt that he has now is like a badass Iron Maiden album cover.
Yeah.
Awesome. Nice like mix.
Moving on, this is the one part of the show I have been looking forward to for a few weeks now. This is our Money in the Bank prediction time. I don't know about you guys, but I am ready. I'm ready to cash in on one of Jay's belts.
Ooh.
Bring it.
See, I can't bring it right now. I am not 100%. I got a little hangnail, and I need healing on my thumb. So once that gets better,
Well, I cut
Wayne-
myself shaving, so we're even.
Hey, Wayne brings it via satellite.
Missiles, baby.
from Long
Oh,
Island,
yeah.
just like MJF.
Yep.
Speaking of
Stop, yeah.
title belts, I have to put this plug out there because
Go for it.
A&J's belts is where I get all of my belts. So everybody who's a belt collector or wants to be a belt collector, go hit up John Barbarossa at A&J Belts. It's fantastic. Great guy to work with. And he can get you almost anything you want for a really good price. He's also a verified WWE title distributor. So you can buy from him direct. They're the same ones you'll get from the shop, but for cheaper and much faster delivery. So ANJsBelts.com. Go visit him.
I will definitely be on that as soon as they bring out that AEW championship belt. I will definitely be looking. A very, very impressive collection of belts he has on that website for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And he made, I got my Impact Heavyweight custom made from him with the 24 karat gold plated finish. Excellent work.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's good, man. Good. Yeah, Jay has a very good collection over there.
Actually, having one more coming in the mail this week, so I'll be up to 17.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
Wow, I got one. I don't feel like pulling it out right now. But I'm just a mid-card champ.
Oh.
One of the main
Got all the
events.
majors.
One of the main events, Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt for the Universal title coming up this Sunday at Money in the Bank. Braun, as we all know, Braun Strowman just won his title a month ago. I want to ask you guys, do you think that Braun is a transitional champ? Do you think he's dropping his title back to Bray Wyatt this Sunday?
Yes, it's definitely going back to Bray Wyatt.
The only reason I say no is because it's versus Bray Wyatt.
It is too soon.
Yeah. If they were calling the Fiend, I would 100% say Fiend. But I'm torn because everything points to, yes, he is the transitional champion right now and just the placeholder to get everything back to normal.
Which is unfortunate.
Oh, yeah. This is something he's deserved for a long time and has absolutely worked his keister off for. But, I mean, there has to be someone backstage that just keeps saying no, no, no. Unless it's Vince himself or just keeps bugging his ear. They just don't want him to have the main titles.
Yeah. Yeah, even though, yes, it is still against Bray Wyatt, I could still see Bray possibly taking it. And then that might lead to something with the Fiend versus Braun. But on the flip, I could also see Braun retaining for just that reason.
Yeah, I mean, they could easily do Braun Strowman winning Sunday, and lead to a return match with the Fiend to later set up a match against whom they will not mention on WWE TV right now against Roman Reigns. They could very well go that route. I think that's kind of like up in the air at the moment. I think you need to stretch. I think you need to stretch
Roman Reigns
out,
right into the title there.
I think you need to stretch out Braun's reign a little bit more.
See, and another reason why I think Bray might go over is because Bray himself needs to get some wins. He can't always have to be the Fiend to win.
True.
Or otherwise you're just burying Bray. So what better way to make Bray win than to have him beat Braun Strowman? I'm taking Bray Wyatt. Final answer.
Okay. Perndall, what do you think?
I think that they should let the monster reign. I think that you could really get in deep with this feud. I guess, looking forward to Roman. Roman and Braun was like the one like poppy, like surfacey feud that like I actually kind of liked with the ambulance matches, stuff like that. I saw a couple of them live. Braun like showing his speed, running around the ring. I'm thinking this one Braun's gonna take. I think there's going to be some weird finish, almost like I think it was Bray and Seth when like the lights just went out and like there was no like pinfall or anything. Um, there might be a weird finish here. I don't know. Have you guys got any word that it was going to be like a cinematic match or?
I think it's going to be a regular match. Where it's held, I'm not entirely sure. They could very well do it in the same ring that they're using for Money in the Bank on top of the building in Connecticut, or they can do it in the Performance Center. Not too sure,
Yeah, so
but it's a regular match.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to Braun, kind of extending his championship reign here. I think he's got it. I think that he's got the fans behind him, and he could really put on a good show. He could do his thing, man. Monster, raw, yeah.
What do you got, Kalupa?
I'm going with Braun on this one. Final answer.
Damn, just that straightforward,
Yeah,
huh?
the
Just
Daily
straight up
Doubles.
Braun.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think it. I think they might realize it's a little.
It might
too
not
soon
be
right
clean.
now.
It might not be clean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean there could be some shenanigans that go with this that he retains, but I mean I think it's just way too early, just a month out. I think that's just a slap in the face to him to be that quick of a transitional champion.
Sure, I agree.
Unless he loses it and then they still have him go back against Bray, but as the Fiend, and then he defeats the Fiend, which solidifies his monster persona.
True, but I think I'm going to go with the Braun prediction for this Sunday, even if it's a disqualification.
I'm leaning slightly towards Braun just because he just won that belt, and they could always set something up for a return match. There's still a little bit of time between now and SummerSlam to do whatever they want to get to. I think Braun retains, although I wouldn't be surprised if it goes the other way too.
You can't pick both sides. You got to pick one.
I feel like I'm 60% Braun and 40% Bray Wyatt.
Now, where would they go if Bray wins? Like, where do you go from there? Do you bring back the Fiend? Do you go back into these cinematic things? Maybe do a little Freddy Krueger thing where he's like all up in Braun's head and he's sleeping in bed and the hands coming through his stomach.
I mean,
out the blood. Like
you can go.
where are we going with here?
I would go with the elephant in the room, right? Bray Wyatt was a leader of the Wyatt family. So Bray goes over and basically tells Braun, see, I am in control of you. I am better than you. And then at that point, you start a whole program. And then that's where Braun would beat the Fiend. That's the way I'd go. Bring back that history they had.
Well, I mean, they're already kind of doing that now. They've been bringing back the history in their vignettes on SmackDown, and they've showed highlights of how Braun started in the Wyatt family, and they kind of showed the evolution of Braun a little bit.
Yeah, but
they're
that's
kind of doing that already.
Yeah, but bring it to the forefront. Make it the sole purpose to revolve around.
Moving on, we have Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the WWE title. This is one of the matches I'm most looking forward to.
Yes.
I think we'd all agree that I see Drew McIntyre going over here.
Yes, and he beats the hell out of David Koresh. It's over. He ruins him, and could be the start, like you guys are saying, of Buddy Murphy turning on Seth as well.
But if they're starting that program this early, who's next in line for the WWE title? Or is that where they start with the contract?
Oh,
Hey,
we will get to
Jay
that.
Styles.
That, you know what, Jay, you might be right. Pern Dog, your prediction for the Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins championship match.
I think Seth is going to pull out all the stops. He's going to pull out all the heel stops. Very, very, sneaky. Very, very slithering. He's going to have some like new apostle come out possibly and run out and try to interfere, just to build Drew's character. I think Drew's going to have to come through some type of hardship in this match. Come back. It's going to be a good battle. He's not going to get squashed by any means. And he's going to come in. He's going to be stronger, man. The Excalibur is going to be swinging in this one. And I'm going to be liking it, and I think Seth is going to maybe go in the background for a little bit, but I like what he's doing with this whole, I need the belt to save people, and so he's not going to let it go. It's going to be tough for him to do programs with other wrestlers because he's just so hell bent on the title. So I'm thinking that it's
Well, they could always do a distraction feud and do like a slow burn throughout the year if they want to do that.
Yeah, totally. And I think so. I think it's going to build up Drew a lot in this match, and it's going to put him over in a big way. And they'll probably be on the roof. I think that this would be a perfect match to be on the roof.
That would be cool to just have the whole pay-per-view on the roof at this point.
Yeah, that's what they should do.
Well. Let's just do it.
Just a nice outdoor pay-per-view in the dark.
And I don't know if you guys know, everything's been taped already.
Yep.
No way.
Everything's been taped already, but no, there's no spoilers, thank God.
Let me go in on something. I Googled, Money in the Bank, and there's some kind of thing where Becky Lynch talked about Vince taking a bump off the roof. Well, I just saw a 74-year-old man fall off the roof. So I'm thinking somebody's going to be falling off the roof.
I mean, it could happen. I mean, it's a joke that's been ongoing.
All right. Yeah. Side bet.
We were talking about.
I call Big Show falling off the roof again.
That wasn't that the Giant at the time though that fell off.
Yeah, it's the same guy. Now he's the Big Giant Show. Falling off roof. I'm writing it down. You heard it from me first.
I'm gonna go King Corbin.
Ooh.
Oh, hold on. Before we get to that, Kalupa, your thoughts on the Drew McIntyre Rollins? Who gets the win here?
It's true. Yeah, I mean, Seth is going to be the purveyor of his own demise. He's just too far in his own head, thinking he is God instead of just the Messiah itself. Yeah, it's just going to blow up in his face. I think he's going to absolutely lose his marbles whenever he loses too. So I think it's going to see a further downward spiral for the Seth Rollins character. We could see the Buddy Murphy blow up this weekend as well, depending on how he gets involved. Because we know there's always going to be the heels have shenanigans involved like this when they have stooges. So something could happen, and that could end up being the change. Of course, would Seth end up being the face of this feud, or would he still be further into the heel role, depending on how Buddy plays it?
See, that's a good thought. They do like to rush the feuds these days. They do like to rush into storylines. I was expecting that maybe to come in later on, but they might just push the Buddy thing quicker. And I honestly think it has to do with the guys getting hurt more now because they're just taking so many chances. So it's like you never know when these guys have to go out. So I mean, there's been tons of storylines in the past that have been like cut short, and you're like, what the hell happened with that? They were just working these guys, and all of a sudden, one of them's gone. So, yeah, they might push the Buddy thing this weekend. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, there's news that Kevin Owens, is out, and I don't know how far along he is in his recovery. You never know. We may get an appearance from him this Sunday night.
I hope so.
I don't know that ankle.
But I think that feud might be over though. But
yeah. That ankle sounded like it's not awful, like a long-term thing, but he needs some time off to let everything heal like it's supposed to.
He probably sprained it.
Yeah. I mean, depending on how bad it is, I mean, it could take 8 weeks. So, I mean, WrestleMania was 4 weeks ago. That'll be week 5. Just depends on what he's been doing during quarantine.
Right.
Probably playing video games.
Yeah, eating hamburgers.
Call of Duty Warzone.
And with his cats.
Oh, with his cats, yes. Men's Money in the Bank. We have the whole field set up. Now we can predict this a little bit better. We have Daniel Bryan on the SmackDown side. King Corbin. We have Otis. All three of them represented SmackDown. Aleister Black. Rey Mysterio, and as we found out tonight, AJ Styles representing the Raw side. All 6 of these men will be in the Money in the Bank match this Sunday. So let's go for it. Jay, who are your picks to win for the men's match this Sunday?
I already showed him.
There you go, on AJ Styles.
Gotta. You gotta.
We'll see.
Why wouldn't you? I mean,
Has he carried a Money in the Bank briefcase? I don't think he has.
No.
I could be wrong.
No, he
I
hasn't.
don't think so either.
Huh.
Yeah, he hasn't. I could see him getting the Money in the Bank, and that's how you're gonna push him back into the title scene. I mean, he's AJ, not that he needs a push, but you know, the way he came off tonight is he's still staying heel, and he'll do anything to get that title. I could see him chasing Drew for that title. That's a good program.
That could very well happen. I can see AJ Styles teasing a couple of cash-ins. I would say maybe till, let me go out on a limb and say maybe Survivor Series.
Right.
Have Drew drop the belt and then give Drew his WrestleMania moment at WrestleMania.
It's absolutely possible. I think that's the way you do it.
Assuming Braun Strowman keeps his belt. Who do you think wins out of Mysterio? I'm sorry, King Corbin, Otis, and Daniel Bryan. I think you may have to go King Corbin here. It's not going to be the popular pick.
If I'm gonna go unpopular pick, I'm going Otis. Otis got the girl.
He's the comedy act. I don't think he's going to win. He's won enough already. He's won enough already. He's got the ultimate trophy right now.
You're right. He's got the trophy girl. Now give him the belt too. Let the blue collar guy win. It's a great story. It's a feel good story. Why not? You're right. More likely it's not going to happen, but I like to think that it will.
I think that might be fantasy booking at this point.
It's what I do best.
Oh, just like the AEW bracket. Oh,
hey, if they would have went with my booking, they would be 100 times better rating right now. I think I'm the best booker out there. So whoever's listening, let me book your show. I'll show you. I will prove it.
Oh, Jay Cornette over here.
Hey, listen,
No.
I hear there's a local Jay. I hear there's a local promotion not too far from you called Victory Pro Wrestling that might need a little help in booking. You might be able to work your way in and work your way up the ranks in booking.
I'll do it. Victory Pro, give me a call.
Pern Dog, who's your pick for men's Money in the Bank?
AJ Styles also. Why? Because you're gonna have the heel win this one. You can't have him, and I don't think he's gonna go after Braun. I don't see the matchup right now. It's not really gonna be like a smooth matchup. I don't think that Braun would really accentuate AJ as well as Drew. Drew's a seasoned guy. He's been around. He's wrestled, hundreds, thousands of different people. He's going to be able to put on a great match with
I
AJ.
can see Drew and AJ working better together.
Yeah. That's going to be the feud. I think that AJ, I like what Jay said, possibly comes in, takes the title early, comes back at WrestleMania, wins the big one. Drew's going to be around for years. He's definitely a fan favorite. But AJ, yeah, he has a full arsenal, man. He's just the real deal, and he knows how to, integrate the high flying. That match at WrestleMania is going to be the best match. It's going to be the best belt match that you could possibly have, because you got the combo, you got what the fans want, you got the high flying off of AJ, then you're going to have the big spots with Drew. So I'm going with AJ on this one, and it's got to be heel. I don't think you can't have a babyface win this thing.
No.
I think this just the way the booking has been, I think a heel does win this year in the men's side. Kulupa, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, with AJ making that surprise return tonight and just crushing Korea like he did, just wrenching down on that calf crusher and that promo after, there's no other way this can go, especially for a long-term payoff. I mean, just looking at the names like right now, Daniel Bryan, I mean, that's him versus Braun Strowman. No, Ray's too old. Alistair has absolutely next to no program right now, short of with feuding with his wife. King Corbin, I mean, he's stuck in such a gear right now that everybody hates him, but there's no room for a push. and Otis is just getting started, I think it's way too early to put it on him. And you don't like I've said, we don't need a face winning this, especially when you have Drew McIntyre as your champion right now. Him and AJ would have beautiful promos together. Their matches would be amazing. So I mean, that's the perfect component you've got right there.
Yeah, and like I said, it has to be AJ Drew because AJ Braun just doesn't work. It's reminiscent of AJ Brock. It was okay, nothing too exciting. So it's got to be AJ Drew.
Yeah.
I mean, Aleister Black had the quite a bit of momentum going into WrestleMania and post WrestleMania. No feud going on right now. Just the way the champions are lined up, I don't see Daniel Bryan or Aleister Black winning. Although that out of the 6 of them, I think arguably Daniel Bryan and Aleister Black are 2 of the best. I don't see anything happen with Rey Mysterio. I think he's there just to add enhancement to the match. Now, they very well could go King Corbin, and I wouldn't be surprised to have that heel opponent for Braun Strowman if they want to start another program immediately after what's happening right now with Braun and Bray Wyatt. I will have to agree with you. It looks like the favorite here is AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Just based on the way the champions are lined up right now. It's going to be AJ or Baron Corbin. It could go either way.
God.
WWE loves Baron Corbin. They love him some
I
Corbin.
hate that guy, but I mean,
All
he's
hail
supposed to.
King Corbin.
he crapped the bed. He crapped the bed last time he won Money in the Bank, and they made him drop it because he had so much heat.
Yeah.
But that's when he was still like the half going bald, aging rock star thing with like the belly flap, you know.
I would say the mashed potato gut.
Yeah,
He's improved a little bit.
Yeah, you know, I think if you added some depth to his character, maybe like a little more darkness, I don't feel like he brings any like evil to it really. He's still just stuck in that kind of like nagging role.
Well, he's been hitting people with his scepter every week, knocking out people.
Yeah, I mean, it's been done. You know, listen, Macho King. You know, we've
Jerry
had
Lawler.
in the past. I'd like to see him get a little depth. But now here's just a thought: like, if you're gonna rank these guys, Aleister Black has humongous potential for the future.
Absolutely. I think he's going to get a push eventually soon.
You know, if he turns heel, there's endless. You know, the promos, just the way that he's already given into the darkness, the way he's already got that kind of like evil look to him. You know, him staying heel is just kind of maintaining his matches are getting better. But I think he's going to flourish as a heel in the future, as a top heel.
Now check this out. Now here's an X factor here. During Aleister Black's promo tonight, he was shooting on AJ.
Yeah.
I think after this Sunday, AJ Styles and Aleister Black are going to start a program together, which would be amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'd be a fantastic
That leads
program.
me to believe that probably neither AJ Styles or Aleister Black will be winning this Sunday. Absolutely totally forgot about this, but they very well could go King Corbin. I'm going to have to change my pick. I'm sorry, Jay. I think it's going to be King Corbin.
I can't see it. I can't see it because how exciting of a program is Corbin and Braun? It's a snooze fest.
It's SmackDown. It's been a snooze fest for the past year.
Okay, so then let's go on the Raw side, and we'll go Drew and Corbin.
But at the same time,
I'm taking a bathroom break. I don't want to see that.
What the Money in the Bank winner doesn't necessarily jump straight into the feud with the champion.
I understand that.
This is true. I mean, like any one of these, like let's say Aleister Black. I mean, he can maybe turn heel down the line, and maybe that makes sense to have that Drew versus Aleister Black's match.
AJ could win, you know, come out and gloat on Monday night, and Aleister interrupts him, and then they just start going to town, and that opens their program. So you kind of put the Money in the Bank contract on the back burner. And honestly, the best cash-ins are the ones when you don't expect it.
No, I
completely like John Cena.
I completely agree with that. It's just, you know, Corbin had the money, like you said. Corbin had the Money in the Bank before, and he did absolutely nothing with it.
Oh, exactly.
Right? It didn't do anything. So why revisit
Blame
that
the booking
empty
for
well?
that. I blame the booking for that. I think Corbin's grown a lot. Not my favorite worker, especially his whole program with Roman Reigns, and I don't think that's to anybody's fault except for Bruce Pritchard and whoever's booking that crap on SmackDown. But I hope they're hearing this. But either way, I've seen Corbin grow a little bit and own his character better than he has.
The only thing Corbin's got good going for him is the Deep Six. Shout out Deep Six Pro Wrestling Podcast. That's the only thing he's got. That's it.
And the end of days, you know.
I'm not even a fan of the end of days.
I think he's always had a great finisher.
Nah. I like him better as an aging rock star, badass, heavy metal dude than what he is now.
So Jay, you got AJ Styles, Kalupa, you got AJ Styles, and Perndall, you went AJ Styles too, huh?
Well, listen, I'm thinking about the Corbin thing. I'm not switching over, man. I'm not gonna do the flip flop, and I'm not taking nothing away from you. I understand that you fully analyze the details before you made your switch. But
not really. It just came to my mind the last second. Thank you, though. Thank you for putting me over.
You got it, man. I'm a pusher. So listen, Corbin could, if we had crowds, the Corbin pop, right? Just the booze would just pour out of the place. If he came in, hit someone with a scepter, and got the win and got the belt, I mean, it would be crazy. But he works off the crowd reactions. He's actually one of the guys who could get the crowd booing him, man. He brings heat. So
some of it's X-Pac heat, but he does bring heat.
He brings heat, man. He's not, his ass ain't grass and smoking it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that he could do some damage, but without the crowd reaction, I'm kind of wondering how it's going to go over, because I'm interested in it, man. He might actually pull it out, because you could put the briefcase on him. He's there every week, and he'll be on someone's butt. He'll be coming out, teasing matches, standing at the ramp. He can work it. So we'll see what happens. I'm good either way.
Imagine this: Baron Corbin wins Money in the Bank, and he cashes it in the city of Chicago.
Oh,
what, with Punk?
You know how the Chicago fans, allegedly the smartest fans in the business, but let me tell you, all wrestlers gain the most crowd reaction, and Chicago is a city that's going to tell you how it is, as well as Long Island and Philadelphia and Boston to an extent. But Chicago, if you really want to piss off a crowd, Chicago's the place to do it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty funny.
They might have wrestling. We got to see what's going on with this stuff, with this Corona. Hopefully these guys get the opportunity to be in front of crowd again, and that's another thing. Going back to trying out, they're not getting the full feel. They're working their matches, but they're not getting the crowd. They're not moving the crowd right now. They don't know what's actually working or not. So
right, and that's kind of what I'm basing off of, is not having an audience, right? And that's why I'm still going with AJ, because AJ, it doesn't matter if he's in front of 2 people, no people, or a full 100,000 fan arena. He's going to bring it every single time, and it's much more entertaining. Corbin, I don't see him being entertaining in an empty arena. Granted, I haven't watched SmackDown in a while, and I'm not really into it. I don't feel like falling asleep on a Friday night too early. So maybe he is bringing it. I don't know. But from what I know of Corbin, I walk away during his matches every single time. So I don't see him, especially in this atmosphere, carrying that briefcase and making anything of it. It just doesn't work for me. If we have fans, then yeah, I can go with that. But we don't have fans.
Moving on, we got the women's Money in the Bank match. Shayna, Nia Jax, Asuka, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, and Carmella. Jay, have at it. Who do you think is going to win out of these women?
Do I really have to pick out of these women? I don't know, man. I don't really care for this match, to be honest with you. If I really have to pick, I'd like to see Shayna win. I think she's the best out of that group. I dislike Nia. for multiple reasons. I don't think she's that good of a talker, that good of a wrestler. I think she's extremely dangerous. And when she was in the limelight before her injury, it did nothing for me. Asuka, I want her to go away. Dana Brooke, she's a nobody. Sorry to say that, Dana. Lacey Evans, I really don't care. And Carmella, I forgot who she was, to be honest with you. So I have to go with Shayna Baszler.
Funny story about Carmella, and I'll have to send you guys the picture. But Carmella, if you're ever in Barclays Center for a wrestling event, they have their pre-show podium where they do the pre-show on the higher part of the lower level. So just beneath the upper level, there's a little section, and the wrestlers run up and they walk up and down through the crowd. To get back to the locker room and to get to the pre-show, whatever. So, funny story is, I got Carmella to take a selfie with me. She was very nice, very nice, very polite, very down to earth. So I got her to take a selfie, and you know what? She came out blurry.
Oh,
But guess who came out clear?
Couldn't have been
That
you, the guy
guy.
behind you.
No. What's his name? What's his name? Her protege that was coming out with him.
Ellsworth?
Yes.
James Ellsworth.
James Ellsworth came out
Oh,
clear as
man.
day, and Carmella
Oh.
came out blurry. I was so mad.
No chin Ellsworth.
Unbelievable. I'll send you guys. I have to send you guys the photo of that. But
Chins McMahon.
Burnzel, your prediction of the women's Money in the Bank?
I think Nia Jax, she's probably going to win. I think they're pushing it a little bit. But I think that Shayna actually deserves to win. I was feeling her for a little bit, not romantically at all, but as far as I like when she works. I like when they bring the traditional. She's got the catch wrestling background. She even if she was having a bad match and she wasn't feeling big spots, she could take it to the ground and really put on a good show. This may not show off her skills that much because you're going to have to bring up the other girls. Dana Brooke, like I've seen her live, she's getting better, but, her crowd reaction is kind of like nil. I've seen the girls get like booed out of the building, out in Nassau Coliseum, other places. So, I think Shane is the deserving one to get the Money in the Bank. I think she could work good angles with kind of putting some fear into like the champs and, wondering what she's going to do. But I have a feeling they're going to put it on Nia. So my pick is Nia just because, of just being so used to the psychology of, Vince's favorites and, what's going to happen next. I hope they surprise me. They might surprise me and I would be very glad for it. And if there's a Carmella selfie involved, let it be something a little bit elegant, maybe some lace involved. You know what I'm saying? So.
Lacey Evans will be there.
Yeah, Lacey. That's what I meant. That's what I actually meant.
Kalupa.
Okay. So
Your
first,
thoughts on this Women in a Bank match.
I think
Go on.
WWE screwed this up because they announced Becky Lynch is returning to Raw next week to confront the Women's Money in the Bank winner. So I think you can go ahead and just kick the SmackDown women off of there, not just by talent level between Dana, Lacey, and Carmella, but I think
that's a really good point.
Yeah. So I think they just shot themselves in the foot and eliminated half the field with that announcement alone. I don't see Nia winning it. They always push the big, strong one, try to make her look powerful beforehand, and she always ends up getting the screw job. I'm kind of sick of the Shayna and Becky promo right now, or the storyline with that. It had the biggest hype trying to get to WrestleMania, and it's fallen flat on its face. Especially with how
they
that
should have
match ended.
they should have had more match time than Edge and
7
Randy Orton.
minutes. Yeah, it was a 7-minute match. It was a BS pin that's happened multiple times before and had absolutely it fell flat on its face. But Asuka, where she's been a complete loose cannon on the microphone recently, I mean, I can see them rolling with that. So I mean, I can. I'm torn between Asuka and Shayna, but I'm gonna roll with Asuka on this one.
Wow.
You very well could be right. I mean, Asuka and Becky Lynch have kind of had an ongoing feud on and off, a little storyline going on throughout the last year or two.
Yeah, that was the one win where Becky had to, when the man came around and last debt to collect, Asuka might want some revenge.
And I agree with you on the SmackDown side. The SmackDown side looks weak, and that was an excellent point that you brought up with Becky Lynch. They made that announcement she's going to confront the Money in the Bank winner. But, I mean, who knows? It could do a crossover here. I don't think so.
The only issue with that is when they did this stupid brand split again last year, they were so adamant about Fox gets this talent,
Right.
USA and NBC gets this talent, and they blurred the lines for like the first couple of weeks, and they finally were just like, no, this is set in stone now. So
Right.
I really don't see the crossover happening.
Yeah, I that's kind of like I'm leaning more against that. It won't happen. I don't think it will. There's that possibility, but it's a long shot. You're right.
Especially when they had you have 4 wild cards a week who can cross over. Oh my God! You want to talk about one of the worst decisions in WWE history?
A lot of people were complaining about that. At some point, I didn't know which person worked on which roster. I totally agree.
Yeah.
On the SmackDown side, if anybody comes out from there, I'm thinking maybe Lacey Evans. She's been in an ongoing chase with Bayley for a number of months now, since before Survivor Series. They've had this on and off feud. I think Lacey Evans should have gotten her win at Mania, but they didn't go that route for whatever reason. They had enough build to pull that trigger, but I think Lacey Evans could have a shot at winning this. But after seeing what we saw tonight, it looks like a Raw superstar is going to win, and I'm thinking Shayna. Unless they decided to move on, I think Shayna is the favorite here, but Asuka is a very close second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see them pulling the trigger on Asuka. I mean, they had the chance multiple times and they fumbled it, so I don't see why this would be any different.
As much as I hate it, Asuka's been doing good work. The work that she's been doing is purposely to kind of piss some fans off.
Well, it's working for me.
It's absolutely working. She's kind of a tweener. She's kind of a tweener at this point. Like,
I have to hit the mute button. She's gonna blow out my speakers.
She behaved herself. She behaved herself on Raw tonight. And actually, I thought it was kind of funny. She was singing along with Nia Jax's song when she was coming out. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I was kind of laughing at that.
Yeah, she's good.
But so that just about wraps up Money in the Bank with one more match. Bayley defending her women's championship against Tamina. I don't think Tamina gets the win here. It's possible, but I don't think so. Just nothing's really clicking with Tamina. Like her theme song is good.
Yeah, I mean, she's been with the company for how long, and she can't seem to get over. I don't see why this is going to be any different. I think Bayley goes over.
Yeah,
I think so too. I don't think Bayley loses it here.
No.
Yeah, Tamina would not have any weight whatsoever holding that women's championship. And going back to the Money in the Bank match, before they did that Becky Lynch announcement for next week, I was honestly calling Lacey Evans to win. Bayley would beat Tamina, and Lacey would come out and cash it in on her.
Oh, I like that.
That's the route I was going to go with it.
Now, I got a theory on Tamina. Okay, with the popularity of Dark Side of the Ring, I'm thinking that they're going to do a flashback, Bray style, to Tamina popping out of Jimmy Snuka's girlfriend's dead body. I'm thinking that might be a nice edge for the character to really push her over. And that's all I got to say about that.
It's never been on TV.
That is the Dark Side of the Ring.
It's definitely.
So now bringing that up, do you think Tamina's catching the heat from Snuka?
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking, yeah, Bailey's gonna retain, maybe a little Sasha interference, Sasha getting jealous, maybe back again with like the Bailey Sasha thing. Maybe they'll feud a little bit because they always seem to have like a little bickering, best friend, I'm jealous of you, sister thing going on. Tamina's, you can tell she's been trying to pick it up. She's been, doing a little more in her matches. I don't know if she has enough to get the strap. They might just be throwing her a bone with this one. Probably going to be a short match, I hope. Like the snores, it's pretty accurate.
The snore is real.
Snore's real.
This is probably the bathroom break match of the night. I mean, they might work a good match, but it's one of those matches like, do I care? Not really too invested in this feud.
Yeah.
Honestly,
looking at the card, I could see that being the curtain jerk feud, the curtain jerk match. It's gonna be the first one on the card. People are gonna forget about it.
Really? I think they open up with so there's another thing we have to talk about. I was just about to say, I think they open up with a ladder match, but some people are saying that both the men's and the women's match will be going on at the same time in the building.
Yep.
Yeah.
They mentioned that tonight.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. When Saxton said that, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
What?
And that's why I think the women's championship match is going to be the curtain jerker.
What happens if a woman grabs the guy's suitcase by accident? Do we have another Tessa Blanchard scenario on Impact?
Yeah.
I don't know if we can handle that, man.
Maybe Nia Jax becomes the men's champion?
No.
I was throwing that out
don't.
there. That would be ridiculous. But seriously,
It's like China winning the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, but I don't mind Tessa holding that championship in Impact.
This might be a crazy
Chicken
match. This might be a crazy match. This might be very convoluted.
See, I had to double check the women's side of it because with Otis in there, I couldn't. Where I really don't watch SmackDown much, I wasn't sure if Mandy had gotten into the match because I can see Otis kind of falling on the sword to help Mandy get the briefcase. So something like that happening. But I don't see a connection between any of these women and any of the men's side.
No.
I think that it's a clear-cut favorite that it's going to be Shayna, Asuka, close number 2, and then quite possibly maybe Lacey Evans if a SmackDown superstar were to win it. But they kind of did give it away. Here's another question for you guys. Do we get a cash in? Does one of the briefcases get cashed in on Sunday night?
Apparently the women's not going to get cashed in.
Right. With that spoiler they gave you.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I'm going to say no. Even on the men's side, it's going to be a no. I think AJ's going to win that, and he's going to stalk for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they do that, I think AJ should seize it all the way to Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Survivor Series can use something to talk about these days. There hasn't been anything great with Survivor Series the past couple of years, except for NXT that just took place at the last Survivor Series. But other than that, there hasn't really been anything of significance in a Survivor Series match within the last 5 years since maybe Daniel Bryan got screwed with Sheamus winning the belt, if I got that right. But anyhow, I don't think we get a cash in either.
No.
Don't forget we got the tag team title match too. One more match. The SmackDown.
Yes. Kalupa, why don't you tell us about that?
Yep. So we've got a fatal 4-way match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. So we got the New Day. So we got Big E and Kofi, Miz and Morrison, the Forgotten Sons, and Lucha House Party. This one, they're pushing the Forgotten Sons right now. They got a clean win over New Day last week. So it's like they're wanting to push them through the ranks right now. But the New Day just won those tag titles the week after WrestleMania.
I mean, New Day's had many, many, many short reigns. I would say half their reigns were relatively quick. Yeah.
So, I mean, I could see the Forgotten Sons getting that huge push right now, especially in a match of this caliber where anything could happen. I'm going to go between them and New Day. I'm going to go with the Forgotten Sons on this one.
Yeah, same. I'm going Forgotten Sons also. I think, they've been hot as of recently. They're really getting a good push, and I think this is the time for them to get it.
How about you, Pern Dog?
I think this match is actually for the Forgotten Sons. I think it's to push them a little bit. It seems like we've gotten like the Luchas are just they're just like a push for the match. Get a little high flying in there. I think that Miz and Morrison are actually going to take the titles back. But I think the majority of the match is going to be dominated by the Forgotten Sons. Just to give them a push, give them a good feel. These guys have been working it down at XT for a while. They're pretty exciting. They all got something to bring to the table. I really like their characters down there. So I think that this match is going to revolve around them. But Miz and Morrison are probably going to end up with the belts again.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's my reaction to that too.
I may have to lean more towards Forgotten Sons. I mean, just for the sake of, I want to see something new in that tag division. I need to see something fresh on SmackDown.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think Forgotten Sons needs a win right here. I mean, Pern Dog, you very well could be right. But I think
I don't want
Forgotten Sons need to. I think Forgotten Sons need to win this.
Yeah, I hope they get it, man. Like I said, I watch, their like strength videos and stuff like that. I mean, these guys are freaks. They're great. They put on a great show. So, if they get it, I'll be happy.
Jay and I have been talking for months. We need to, see more fresh content. I think that's especially on the SmackDown side. That's been the biggest problem. Is the content is not fresh. It's just not good. Raw's doing very good. SmackDown needs to do something that makes me want to check. I really haven't watched too much of SmackDown, and if I do, sometimes I'm 2 weeks behind and I have to catch up on my DVR. I didn't even watch last week's SmackDown. I just saw it on the results. They need to do something to make their content a little fresh on a weekly basis. Final thoughts. Started with you, Jay. Final thoughts for anything about this last week? Money in the Bank, Raw. What do you got?
Not much. I think this Money in the Bank
pay-per-view we covered a lot.
I think Money in the Bank is going to be a decent pay-per-view. It's going to be something different, so it's going to be exciting. I just hope they don't screw it up like they tend to. But I'm excited. I think, like you said, a change is needed in the format, and I think they did a good job with this style of format. I hope it's all done on the roof and not in the PC. I think that'll add a lot more flavor to it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That.
So
we understand why this is all going on. I think the roof would be a nice little touch.
Right. So, yeah, I think it'll be decent.
How about you, Pern Dog? Any final thoughts about anything?
Yeah, I have a final thought.
Wrestling related.
Final thought is this. Yeah, I want to shout this one out to all the haters out there who hate on us for going on and on, spending our lives watching this wrestling, being a part of it, feeling it. It's a part of our lives. It's a work. Life's a work, right? So listen to me. Listen up, clear. Okay, this stuff is around. Okay, it's still going. All the other sports are down. You guys worship all these millionaires and everybody trying to make all this money, and you're buying their jerseys. Well, we're still buying a T-shirt because these guys go in and put in the work week after week. They excite us. They motivate us. And that's what it's all about, baby. So don't be hating on nothing, okay? Just watch the podcast. Get immersed in the wrestling world. But other than that, I think that, we have some exciting stuff coming up. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going on with the roof, man. The roof is intriguing to me. I'm looking at the bushes in the background. I'm like, what's going on? Who's popping out of there? What kind of creatures are we going to have coming, right? Is Vince McMahon going to be dangling from the top of the tower? Is he going to hold on to life? Who's going to come save him? Stephanie. Is it going to be Stephanie? Is it going to be Shane? Who's the favorite kid? We don't know anymore. All right? So are we going to see another Triple H freaking Vignette? Like I haven't seen him enough in the last 25 years. I don't know what's to come. and maybe we'll get a Brock Lesnar appearance.
Oh God.
Baby.
Bird Dog, I got one more question for you. Did somebody fall off the roof on Sunday night?
Someone is falling off the roof. Will they go splat? Probably not. They're going to land a bunch of boxes, but someone is falling off that roof. I'm calling it. It ain't going to be Santa.
Aim for the
Kalupa.
bushes, right, Pern?
Okay.
Aim for the bushes.
Listen, if they can Photoshop a massive DX on the side of Titan Towers, they can make it look like someone fell 10 stories off of the new WWE headquarters.
Oh no, Kalupa. That was a real thing, by the way. That DX spray paint was a real thing. I can testify to that. I drove by Titan Towers and the DX thing was up.
Oh God, that looked like one of the worst Photoshops I've ever seen on live TV.
I mean, it may have been extenuated. They made it look a little brighter, but it was the real thing.
Wow,
I was
no,
surprised.
All right. Well, I know after Money in the Bank airs tonight or on Sunday, the first part of the Undertaker documentary starts airing. So I'm very curious to see that, especially since it's really the first time we've gotten to look at Mark Calloway himself. So I'm really curious to see how they film that and what exactly they're going to show us with it, because that's the first time he's let them kind of get into his personal life. But as far as the pay-per-view goes itself, I mean, you got a men and a women's match going at the exact same time, leading to the exact same place. This is something that's never been done before, so I'm really excited but curious to see how this plays out. Where it's been filmed, how production does it on the back end of everything. Is that just going to be the match itself? How long is that match going to be? I mean, because they're running up 10 freaking stories of a building to get to the roof and get a briefcase. Yes, I do want to see someone get thrown off. And I really hope it's King Corbin, but that's beside the point. But this is going to be kind of a turning point right now, especially with how the world is, to get us started on the road to SummerSlam. So this is going to start building a lot of stuff and kind of, the first post-WrestleMania storylines. This is going to set us up for the next 3 months, more so than just the first couple Raws and SmackDowns after. But yeah, I'm just excited to see it. I really hope SmackDown, Bruce Pritchard needs to really take hold of everything, because that show just sucks right now and has sucked. And I think not only with Eric Bischoff getting fired, but with Bruce Pritchard still taking it over and the ratings still tanking, they got to look a little bit deeper to find the real problem, because apparently it's not necessarily just the writing itself, but there might be some other factors they need to look at just a little further, because two people shouldn't be doing that awful trying to get a show off the ground.
Well, gentlemen, I have no more to add to that. You guys nailed it tonight. I couldn't have said it better, Coop. We were in for an interesting show, to say the least, this Sunday. I'm curious to what kind of train wreck the Money in the Bank match is going to be. I'm curious to see where they do the championship matches, who's going to win, who's going to lose. Regardless of how it's presented, seeing what the results are is always what intrigues me to always watch, especially a Money in the Bank pay-per-view. But all right, guys, that wraps up our show. A fairly long show tonight, but I think we delivered some really good content. So for those of you that are listening, you can follow us if you can't watch the whole video on our Deep Six Pro Wrestling podcast on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. We're also on Facebook and also Twitter as well. Give us a follow, and we will be sure to come back to you guys with a midweek matchup on AEW this Wednesday and our post-show of Money to Bank this weekend coming up. But in the meantime, Jay, Burn Dog, Kalupa, thank you for making your appearance from Mexico again.
Happy Cinco de Mayo, a mi gente.
Yes, tomorrow's your holiday. No,
Yes.
it's today. It's
right
today.
now.
It's Cinco de
Right
Mayo.
now.
Arriba!
Kalupa, this holiday is for you. I hope you have the most awesome day today on
Muchas
Cinco de
gracias.
Mayo. All right, guys. It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Good night, everybody.